have the questions at the end.
Thank you very much. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending my presentation. So my name is Dr. Tinashe Chuchu. I'm from the University of Pretoria, the Marketing Department, and these are my co-authors. So our topic is gender role congruency, and we're trying to look at the effects of gender roles on advertising consumption. So just a brief background, we wanted to look at gender-based advertising to say, does it really matter to fit into stereotypes of gender when we advertise? So this is going to be my agenda. And when we look at gender role congruency, we are saying if we look at someone's beliefs of people, will that match what or who those people actually are? And we can look at an example to say, if we think males respond positively to masculine advertising, is that really true? Or if we use feminine advertising for women, would that really work, or is that really true? So this is actually a widely used approach in advertising, and when we look at it, we try to use the South African context to this fact. Even though we don't want it to be restricted to South Africa, we want it to be generalized. So in South African media, women are still portrayed as mothers, homemakers, as well as fashionable consumers, but men are seen as authoritative figures, and they're also seen as breadwinners in advertisements. Then advertisers consider beauty and motherhood youth to be universally shared values among female consumers. And if we look at it, despite women being active players in South African markets, or other, we can say South African consumers, they are still very marginalized, and they're still boxed into certain stereotypes, like what I looked at. So the motivation for the research was not a random one, right? This was based on a lot of observations that we had seen in the media, and we thought maybe we could do an empirical study to actually test this. So we can say, I'll just briefly go through the top part. We can say when we look at androgynous individuals, we are saying these are individuals with both male and female traits, and feminine men and masculine women. They really don't care about gender-based stereotypes, right? They would rather be more receptive to neutral advertising. And we can look at the objectives of our study. So now we had established in the literature that not every man wants to see masculine advertising, and not every female wants to see feminine advertising, even though that's a stereotype we were observing in media. So the first objective was to see whether brand trust and self-congruency will lead to purchase intention. And the second one wanted to see if brand trust and self-congruency will actually lead or influence brand image. And the last one, we wanted to see if there's a relationship between brand trust and brand image. I'll show you the conceptual framework we used, and in the interest of time, I won't be able to go through all the theory and literature, but we looked at the Morrison-Schaefer model, which talked essentially about what we're talking about, gender roles in advertising. And we can look at the conceptual framework. So we assumed that brand trust directly affects image, self-congruency also directly affects image, and at the end of the day, we sort of predicted that all this has an effect on purchase intention. This is the conceptual framework we came up with, and this is our methodology. So because we didn't have a sampling frame, we didn't have a list of potential participants, we relied on convenient sampling. So we used simple random sampling, and we were able to obtain 306 participants, all from Johannesburg, and we did descriptive statistics and structural equation modeling to test the hypothesis. Then, so we would show the participants two advertisements. And if you notice, this is the exact same car, but the other image is a female model, the other image is a male model. So we wanted to see how participants react to this type of advertising. Then, these are our results. So, advertisement A, we established that brand trust was related to brand image. BT was related to brand image. It was supported and significant, and self-congruence for the first advertisement was related to brand image. It was both supported and significant, and the first two relationships were supported and significant for both advertisements. And if we look at the one relationship that was both unsupported and insignificant, was between brand trust and purchase intention. It was found to be unsupported and significant for both advertisements. So these are our managerial implications. We are saying the findings of the study will provide marketing practitioners with adequate insights on how they can target young consumers. Okay? And we also feel that brand image would lead to purchase intention. If consumers think the image is positive, maybe they might end up purchasing that product. And in terms of further research, we had a number of things we wanted to look at, but the most important thing was to say maybe we should test the relationship between brand trust and self-congruency without a mediating effect of brand image. Maybe if we remove the mediator, we might find interesting results. And the last proposed further research was to do a t-test, so that we want to see if there's a difference between male and female consumers based on advertising, and is that difference significant? And this is essentially our study. Thank you.
We have a few minutes for questions. We have some comments.
Well, your observation on gender role congruent advertising is very interesting.
Oh, thank you.
So that is something that is acceptable in certain. Can you expand this to economies, developed economies like USA? Do you think that is required in a developed economy?
I think it can be applicable in other settings or even in other countries like developed countries, but maybe the stereotypes might be different, because I believe in the United States maybe they might be more liberal, and maybe in other communities, maybe let's say in the Middle East, they are more conservative. So I think it can be applicable, but the results might differ slightly, because like in South Africa, the advertising they use is still very backward sometimes, when they feel only females should be seen in the house. So I think it is applicable, but the results might differ a bit.
How did you work in gender in the analysis? Like, was the self-congruency questions related to gender, or did they relate to gender in a certain way?
We tried to relate these questions to gender, all the self-congruency questions, but at the end of the day, we felt that maybe it was such an ambitious project, and we actually discovered that maybe we should have broken it into maybe a number of articles, because it was a large project, but we tried to link the gender questions to self-congruence.
Other things?
Okay.
Does the gender of the participants matters for the gender?
That's a good question. Funny enough, we saw that the results were pretty similar, because on advertisement A, where a female was used, the same relationships that were insignificant were also insignificant for when a male model was used. But maybe if we do a t-test, we can see objectively if the differences are significant. But they were very similar, the findings.
And also,
Right.
the other day, people talk about the third genders, except
Okay.
male, female, the third genders.
That's a good question. Even there in South Africa, we're not allowed to use, currently we're not allowed to use two genders. There are about like 80 of them or 60. But at the time when we did the study, we had male, female. Prefer not to say. Now we have to say male, female, other.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Or you could do another ad with an androgynous person,
Yeah.
so that you have the three, and maybe that's cool.
Okay.
If you can't ask them male, female, other, have a third ad.
Yes.
That-
And back to, oh, sorry, true. And back, because I know we are pressed for time, I just wanted to respond to what she had said previously. So, in some communities, it's very difficult to show an image of an androgynous person because I think maybe because of homophobic tendencies and things like that, it's difficult to have ethics clearance because there are people who might be openly gay and they might think we're making fun of them. So it's still very sensitive, and you might struggle to get permission to show maybe a male model who wears a dress or a female model with tattoos and a morgue. They might not allow you to do that. Maybe in the States, I think it's okay. I feel like it's liberal, the research. I don't know. Is it true?
I would think so. You can show whatever you want. I think you're right though, the survey respondents might interpret it differently. I think it might be hard to pick an androgynous person that everyone would rate as androgynous. Sort of as a manipulation check. If you did that there, was the person a male? Yes. Was the person a female? Was the person androgynous? You might not, I don't know that they would interpret. Picking a model that's androgynous might be difficult. I don't know. But there's plenty out there. I mean, so there's probably real ads that you just can find. Maybe in makeup or something else. Cars might be a little too, another field. Fashion, probably you could find the male, female, androgynous.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much.